everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I should just start calling it my channel now because Brie's just permanently MIA. What do you guys think? Should I change the name or should I leave it beauty.mom? As Brie's getting older, she's completely lost interest in being on camera. Okay, you know, there's, I have to tell you, as with it seems everything that JaclynHill puts her hands on lately, there seems to be drama involved, and I guess companies just put it aside because they make so much money. But I am here today about the vaults, as you guys know and you saw from the title, so let's do this. For a background here, I ordered 6. Yes, 6 of these vaults at $50 plus tax a piece because I wanted to get one for myself, one for my daughter, and the rest for you guys. Now, because of the fact that, you know, there was 2 that were going to be in our house at least. Normally, I don't use an eyeshadow product until I'm on camera with you guys. That's just my gig. That's my jig. That's how I roll. I do not like showing products that have been trashed for first time. Obviously, if I'm going to take a product out, shop my stash or something like that, that's a different issue. Clearly it's been used. But when I'm showing you a brand new product, I like it to be brand new. But in the case of this, where I had multiples, and I started hearing a lot of things, and of course, you know, if you know about the vault, then you know that Morphe pushed the date back because the original ones they sent out to influencers got bad reviews, yada yada yada. Anyways, to be honest with you, I would like to know why it is that every brand out there states that it takes a year to produce these things, and yet Morphe was able to produce, I'm sure, hundreds of thousands, if not over 1 million, who knows, units of these within a month. I don't understand it. Another thing I don't understand about this is not only this quick production time flip around, I don't understand why it is that JaclynHill said that it was a pressing issue that caused the inconsistencies, and yet when I received my vaults, they have new ingredient labels on them. And I pulled off the, you know, basically they reused all the packaging, which I can understand. You know, it's expensive and there's no sense in throwing the packaging away. There's nothing wrong with the packaging. So they just put a new sticker over it. But what I don't get is, why did you need to put a new ingredient sticker over it? Because when I removed, then I'll put a picture here somewhere so you guys can see it, because when I removed the ingredient sticker, there's completely different ingredients on this batch as the one prior. So, you know, it's one thing to send these all back to factory and say we've got to repress them all, there's something wrong with the pressing, even though I kind of take issue with that too, because, you know, Morphe and JaclynHill used the excuse in the JaclynHill palette that it was more expensive because they had to buy all this pressing equipment. Remember that?
So this palette is $38 for 35 shades, and it is more expensive than their typical palettes that you find online. They're in the plastic packaging, but there's a lot of reason behind the difference in the price increase, which has to do with the colorants that we use. It was all brand new machines.
Well, if they spent all this money buying all this expensive pressing equipment to get the perfect press on the pans, and they say this is the same formula as the JaclynHill, the same everything, aren't they using that new expensive equipment that they used to press the JaclynHill? So why is there a problem? Why is there a problem? I don't know. You tell me. There's so many things here that don't add up, and I don't like it when things don't add up. Anyways, and on top of that, you know, honest to God, I think Jaclyn needs to stop talking. I think Morphe needs, you know, in the last video she said Morphe gave her free for all to say whatever she wanted.
I talked to Linda and Morphe. I talked to them every single day, honestly, about what's going on, and they have given me full permission just to be as honest and transparent as I want here on camera with you guys, and they're like, just tell the truth and let it all out, which is freaking awesome.
which kind of threw me off a little bit because nobody's going to tell me what I can and can't say. I mean, I'm not ever going to sign a contract that says I can't speak up if there's a problem. Just kind of a little odd. But, you know, if you listen to people when they talk, they always give things away. And JaclynHill has a tendency to do one thing, and that's talk too much. She's not a PR gal. And she doesn't really pay attention to what she said in the past, kind of like the issue with the higher cost on the JaclynHill palettes because they had to buy all this, Morphe had to buy all this expensive pressing equipment just for that palette. Well, according to JaclynHill, these, meaning the Vault, are the same everything as the JaclynHill palette, so that stands to reason they're using that expensive pressing equipment we all paid for, doesn't it? So then she comes up and says, well, the issue is pressing. Well, if it's pressing, didn't all of us just contribute to this expensive pressing equipment? So what happened to that? And then we get the palettes, and the palettes have new ingredient stickers on them. So it was just a pressing issue. Then when you pulled them, you found out it was an ingredient issue too, and you reformulated it. But she didn't address that in her latest video. And I literally could go on and on with statements that she's made that don't add up. And I think if, you know, Linda Morphe seems like a very intelligent woman. She seems like a very stout businesswoman. And she seems to know what she's doing. And if I were her, I'd quit giving JaclynHill free-for-all to talk, because JaclynHill is what's bearing Morphe in this, just as she did with Becca. Now, let me get the palettes. This is how they arrived, and I did open them because I wanted to make sure they weren't broken, because the box was, as you can see, crushed, completely crushed in here. This is it. I mean, they're in there tight. There's no room for error if these got banged around. Just one little thing of wrap around and that's it. Now, this is, oh boy. First off, here's the new label. As you can see, hopefully, with my lights, it is a sticker. Ingredient list. The ingredients have been switched around from the ingredients that were printed on here for the first batch, okay? Secondly, I received these and they have, the best I can describe is they have tape all over them. Can you see this? It's all over the sides. It's all over the front. I mean, there's like pieces of tape, stickers all around, and every one of them's like this. It's almost as if this is a completely different one. And let me turn the light down, see if that helps so you can see it. There we go. Now I can see it at least. See that right there? These, it's like there's tape all over them. I mean, how tacky is it that you send out boxes that look like this? Every one of my boxes is like this. Every single one of them. The other thing, I've only received 4 and I ordered 6, so I don't know where. I mean, look, even on this one, the tape, or whatever the hell it is. Come on, camera. Focus. Anyways, I just think this is really tacky. You know, I understand reusing packaging, but what I don't understand is sending packaging out that looks as if it's been through the ringer. I mean, this is, quite frankly, it's disgusting. This isn't what I expect from a new product. I don't care if there's a, you know, they reuse it and put a new sticker on it, but what the hell is with all this tape that's all over it? Every single one of my boxes is like this. Anyways, I asked on Twitter, because I started using one of these, getting back to, I got distracted as usual, but getting back to what I was talking about before, because of the fact that I had two palettes that were going to be in this house, at least one with my daughter and one with me, I knew I could start using the palette and still have one to get good shots of and show you guys and use live. So I wasn't worried about that. So I started using it because I wanted to see whether or not there was a change in these from what other influencers had shown on their videos earlier. And let's just say my experience was not good at all in the first palette I opened. So I decided what I'm going to do, rather than just get on here and bitch and moan and say they're not the same blah blah blah, I'm going to show you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up another vault. I've already used mine. Now I've gotten permission from Brie to use hers. So I'm going to open up a second vault, and on camera I'm going to make a video for each palette. Each palette I am going to apply the eyeshadow to my eyes. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pack it on and then blend it out so you can see each shadow, because I know when it comes to this product, I damn well know if I just do arm swatches, even using primer and everything like I normally do, I know there'll be people out there that'll bitch saying it's not the same. Skin is skin. Yeah, this skin is much more tender and much softer than the skin on my arm. But you know what? If it won't apply to skin, it won't apply to skin. That's what I'm going to show you. Are there some in here that I had good experiences with that applied beautifully? Yes. Are there quite a few that applied like absolute horrific? I don't even want to use the word. Yes. Is this the same formula, in my opinion, remember these are all my opinions, as the JaclynHill palette? No. Hell no. It's not. Now, is the JaclynHill palette like a la creme? No. Is it a good palette? Yeah, it's a really good palette, especially for the price point. Remember, I always take the price point into consideration. Now, I am tired of hearing people say, well, they're only $15 a piece. Well, you know what? I go into the drugstore and I spend $15 on an expensive eyeshadow palette, and if it's shit, I'm going to return it. I expect it to perform good. I don't care what the price point is. Just because you've got a lower price point doesn't give you authority to perform like crap. You know what I mean? Do I expect these to perform as good as, say, a Tom Ford eyeshadow? No. Do I expect that that they should be able to apply to the eye, stick to the eye, blend on the eye, blend with the other colors, have good pigmentation, and not be patchy? Absolutely. That is what I'm looking for in an eyeshadow. And I'm telling you, I have almost a full palette in here that I get none of that from, at least of what I've tried so far. So this is just kind of my intro video to explain what I'm going to be doing, and after this you will see 4 videos coming up at the minimum, because there's 4 palettes in the vault. And what I'm going to do, so they're not long, you know, I figured, well, if I record them all together, because it's going to take a while, you know, to apply each one to my eye, I'm going to need to take a break because my eyes are going to be falling off by that point of removing and applying so much eyeshadow one after the other. But I just figured it'd be better to break them up, because that way people don't moan and groan about the video being too long. And also, you know, I considered whether or not should I use an eyeshadow primer, should I use a concealer in these, and I decide what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a concealer, because first off, I have veins that show through my lids and I want to block those out. And considering I'm going to have to be applying this and reapplying it and reapplying it and reapplying it, I don't want to have to do 2 layers. And the other reason I decided to go with a concealer is because, quite frankly, this is what I see most people use anymore. Yeah, people use eye primers, of course, but I see a lot of people just using concealer as their base. So I will be using concealer as the base. I will always be, you know, cleaning my brushes, and I'll have the color switch that I'll be using to clean off brushes. And you'll see, I'm just going to go through each palette one after the other. I'll give you a shot of the palette beforehand so you can see the whole thing. And I'm just going to go through and apply one after the other to my eye so you can see it. And I'll be packing it on my lid, packing it up a little bit further than my lid because my eyes are so hooded, and then I'll be blending it out from there, which is the way you'd apply an eyeshadow. So we'll see how it works. And when it comes to the metallics, because, you know, I thought, well, you know, I'm having a lot of problems with the mattes. The metallics need to be bomb. They gotta be bomb. I mean, metallics are easy peasy in comparison to mattes anyways, especially some of the matte colors they have in these palettes. No, that's not the case. I mean to tell you, there are metallics in here that barely have anything in them at all. I mean, so what I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to be first applying the metallics with a brush, a dry brush, just to show you how they go on. Then I'll take my finger and I'll go over it with my finger to build it up into, you know, part of it. And we'll see from there if I want to wet a brush or not. I don't know, because that'll take a lot of time doing all that. But I want you guys to be able to see how the shadows apply on my eyes. And I'm telling you, if I compare, literally, if I did arm swatches with brushes compared to eye swatches, it's not that different. Matter of fact, I don't think it's different at all. So that's my scoop on what is coming up, just so you guys know. And also, I put up a poll on Twitter, I'll show a picture of it somewhere here, asking you guys, if I'm disappointed with these, should I be sending them out at a giveaway? Because, you know, that's what I bought them for, was to do giveaways. So I want your opinion, because you can see what people on Twitter said. They said send them back. No. So you guys let me know. After you see the 4 videos, then I would like, in that 4th video, the last one, I would like you guys to let me know, seeing the performance of these, whether or not I should still do giveaways on them. Because I purchased them. Of course, I'm missing 2 still, you know, and to be quite frank, I was really stunned that she used this design of all designs. Now, if you have, and I have all of her Becca products, by the way, even though none of the colors work with me, I bought them to support her, which I'm pretty much at my end of right now, I'll be honest with you. But her Becca collaboration had this design, except for it was hollow, and I thought, well, maybe she can get away with that because, you know, this isn't hollow. But then you look at the palettes, the individual palettes, that design is literally almost identical to what was on her Becca collaboration, her face palette. I'm thinking, girl, if you don't own this, what are you thinking? I mean, I get you want to stick with the design, but in that case, you contact Becca and you ask them to buy it. You don't just put it on here. I mean, I don't know, you know, I get Jaclyn attracts people and attracts an audience, but my personal opinion, if Jaclyn doesn't start reining herself in and getting her shit together, her time is going to be very brief in terms of the popularity she wields, because as you can see in our beauty community over the last couple weeks, the public is very fickle and they will turn on you. And when they do, they turn hard. And if you're not honest, if people think you're being deceitful, if people think you're trying to scam them, if people think you don't give a rat's ass for them except for the dollar they can make you, they will turn on you. And from what I'm seeing, Jaclyn is portraying all that right now, and I don't like it. Because if I released a collection like this with 4 palettes in it, I'd be hitting my channel hard doing tutorials on this. She recorded 1 swatch video where she swatched all of them, and she recorded 1 tutorial. And guess what was next after that? Was it another tutorial on her vault? No! She was selling us her brush collection. Now that kind of shit cranks me sideways. And if you disagree, that's okay. But you know what? I don't tune into your channel just to watch you sell me shit. I don't tune into your channel just to watch you push. I don't care if it's Morphe or Becca or any other brand. You first and foremost are an influencer. If you want to just go into collaborations and brands, then do it. But don't call yourself an influencer anymore. Because when I don't see you on your channel doing legitimate tutorials, and I don't see you on your channel doing step-by-steps or doing reviews and everything else that all of us influencers do, yeah, I've got a problem with that. Because in my opinion, what that says is you've now turned from being a legitimate influencer that really made a difference in the community to one who, you know, she says, well, I'm not just focused on money. It's not all about money to me, blah, blah, blah. Well, then why do you just use your channel to sell shit? Answer me that. You know, she doesn't even edit her own videos anymore, and you can definitely tell that they're not being edited by her. She behaves differently in her videos. It's just, the whole thing is like, I just wish she had somebody in her life that could tell her, whoa, Jaclyn, back up, take a step back, because you're, you know, the ship's on fire, and if you don't back up and put the fire out, it's gonna crash and burn, you know. But some people just don't get that, especially when, I hate to say it, but especially when they're younger. When I was younger, I thought I could rule the world, and I tried several times. But let me tell you, when you don't do things right, the world steps back and bitch slaps you back into reality. And I would hate for that to happen to her, because she seems like a really nice gal. And I've spent a lot of money supporting her products. Every single product she's released, I've done a giveaway on this channel on. That means I've purchased them for myself, my daughter, and you guys. Every single one. So you know what? Don't tell me that I don't have a right to say something about it, because I damn well do. Okay, you guys, I'm going to get going on this, and you will start seeing a succession of these videos. And like I said, excuse the way it looks, because I'm, you know, everything's going to get all mucked up, taking eyeshadow on and off and on and off and on and off. I love you wherever you're at in the world. If you're having struggles, you beat the bitches back and persevere. Don't let anyone tell you no, that you can't do what you want. If you have a dream, you set your goals and you go after it. You don't give up, ever. And remember, when you're out in the world, treat those you encounter with love and respect, because they too, like you, have feelings. I love you guys. Mwah. Bye.